Check the chat. Hey, Calvin, what's going on? Dad's workshop in the building. What's going on, Jesse? How you doing? What y'all up to today? Getting anything done in your shops? Tidying up. Doing a lot of little small projects lately. Wes, did I get your info? Yes, Jesse, I did. I actually responded to that email. So you've got two things coming. Um, I haven't decided what mallet yet. I don't know if we've even talked about that. But you did win the little knife in the previous contest. So there's that and that mallet coming your way shortly. As soon as I get these reindeer all fed. But yeah, I'm very excited for the new year coming up. Very excited. So I got a lot of stuff, idea-wise, coming together, and somewhat some extensions of the things we've already done, getting a little bit better with things, a little bit. We're gonna go over some mistakes we made throughout the year and how we fix them. And I'm going to be back and forth to this chat. So if it doesn't look like I'm paying attention, just give me a second. I'm going to come back and check it because I'm going to be answering questions, anything like that. Hey, Nair. Yes, we have contests all the time. Two people in this chat right now are contest winners. One is Calvin Seaton, but he's also like a brother channel. You know what I mean? So he's one of my favorite channels over there. So he's got a knife coming. He won 2 mallets, him and his lady. And Jesse won a mallet by guessing the right amount of pieces in this mallet, which was 29. And then Rob won this mallet. Lions Fix It Shop won this mallet. Carrie won this mallet. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 knives going out from contest winners from lives. So yeah, you can definitely get in on this. Ow. appreciate you. That's dope. Where's does it starts out the new year? It's 15 minutes into the year, and I got a dub. Appreciate you, Jesse. I appreciate it. That'll help cover your postage. Awesome. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, chat. You the man, not me. You. Because you're the one giving this money. That's how you get to establish who's who. The bread breakers. Appreciate you, Jesse. Jesse is also a member of the channel. And Jesse is also, aside from Calvin Seaton, who has also been a member, are only two-time winners. So, coincidence? I think no. Membership has its perks, my friend. Here's to Jesse. I hope you have a great and prosperous new year. I already have started that. Thanks to you. Now, another thing we've been battling these lights lately. That's so dope. Jesse, what's your do you have a New Year's resolution? Is there some New Year's business that you need to handle that you want to share? Or just some well wishes. I'm moving my bench around because I need to make space because I need to add another light mount. I'm discovering that these are better from the ceiling suspended than they are from the floor. So, yeah. That is what I'm discovering, I say. That's so dope. Jesse looking out for me, boy. Keep on keeping on. Right on. Right on. Right on. So we're gonna take that out. We don't need the tripod part. The circumstance. We're gonna capture the hardware back though. A little bit of nut. on Jesse. Pulled up on your boy. Drive-by dubs on you. Like a cowboy. Let's see if that worked. Ah, perfect. So now we essentially got a pole that we can suspend, and the end of it has this threaded bit that we also need. Let's tighten those nuts. I don't want that to slip out now. Gravity will be holding it. Alright. Let's see. So how do we get something to hold that? Hey Warren, how you doing? We got something that can grab that pipe and fasten to a flat board on the other side, like a little bracket or something. We could just screw straight through, but I don't like that idea as much. We'll let that fall on the floor. And we'll look over here in the shelf of random items. This is the land of misfit toys. Things that don't have a permanent place yet. But useful enough for me to want to keep. Nope. I wonder if I've got plumbing straps in here. Or I've got collars. Is that big enough? Dun, 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 dun. Because those things will grab anything. But then how do we fasten it to the structure? Because that does work. Or if we put something in there straight, send it through and have a flat thing, fasten a flat thing to that. That might work. What can I send through this though? That got a set screw already. hole up here already. But could I get that out even? But it's a hint and it moves. That's not bad. Potential option. If I can get in there. If I can get in there, though, that's it. That's the ticket. Let's try. See if that'll just come out. It may not come out. Yeah, it's kind of. It kind of tapped into place. Maybe more headache than I want for just a freaking piece of metal. Maybe I could round that over. No, that makes no sense. Makes no sense. Something has to suit this circumstance. I'm just gonna have to drill some holes. That means going outside. Kingdom for an answer. Something's coming to me. Maybe. Maybe I can just cut this. I'm gonna need a grinder for that. Happy New Year, Jesse. Rhinestone, Suzanne, how you doing? Runic, what's up? Mitchell. Everybody, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Welcome. One last ditch effort to try not to go outside. Well, you know, it ain't that bad after all. You can come out with me. Throw some stuff in the trash over there. Man, what a beautiful first day of the year. Look at that. Look at that. And I was trying to show you. Oh, shit. Wait, first, do I have sound? Please tell me I have sound. If I have sound, that's what I was trying to show y'all yesterday, is that a tree fell and gave my creek a dam, and now I've got a little fishing spot on my land, which is awesome. Awesome. And so now we just got to grab a couple tools so that we can make this rig work. See that mafioso sticker back there? You see that Sawdust Mafia? Yes, I have sound. It's a beautiful day there too, Suzanne. Great. I'm glad you are bringing in the year. And this kind of beauty too. It's so nice. Holy smokes. Trucks frolicking in the driveway. See if we can find a place. You can get in there. Get up there with your sister. Didn't know it was gonna be this nice out. I swear, this was a total surprise to me. I've been in the house drinking coffee and in my shop. Since I love it. It is, 3/4 underground, so I don't always get an awareness of the weather. And then my brother's boat is covering one of the windows. But yeah, it's a great day in the GA. Rob, what's up? Yes, right, Jesse. I'm a made man. I'm untouchable. I'm working on that accent. I'm untouchable over here. This is a good primer paint right here. A good one. So we need our grinder in there. That's what we primarily came out for, but then we saw all the other crap we need. Let's get him. Let's get him. Let's see. Happy New Year's, everyone, from Rob in the UK. Rob has an awesome channel over there. He let me on there the other day. And yap. You let me on there. And yap. And he was very, very courteous about it. Rob has a great new channel. It's only a couple months old and it is growing fantastically. And the quality of folks over there is impeccable. So if you get an opportunity, Depression Talks. Uh, you get some good insight. You get a comfortable place to talk about exactly what it sounds like, and you get some woodworking. Rob is a blooming, blossoming woodworker. Not his accent is not that one. Sorry, Rob. Terrible at accents. But Depression Talks, go check it out. It was a very enjoyable live. I really did appreciate the conversation. I'm gonna fuck around and just make a hole through that, send a big carriage bolt or something through it, and then just call it done. That's what I feel like doing. Let me find a nut or a screw worthy of the task in my rando collection of things. I'll probably push a nail through that as well. Being straight up. Cool. I hope I'm still visible. But y'all just gonna have to put up with me today. I have to move. Look, you know what I mean? It's crazy in there. So whenever I actually have to go make money, a lot of these tools that I use in the shop get on their actual intention. And then they get packed in here with all this stuff. Then I have to undo it. Sorry, I'm not a woodworker. I have locksmith skills. That's a rubbish accent. Well, yeah, it is. No, you don't have to be anything over here but interested. You know. And if you're interested in seeing something, it's awesome. Hey, so do you have locksmith skills? Let me ask you this, because I don't have locksmith skills. With your locksmith skills, do you know how to change the cylinder, that thing, on a truck? Say the truck say that's what you did. Say your truck does that. Do you know how to swap that cylinder out? Nobody's gonna touch it because I'm a made guy, but you know, just in case. You're a plasterer. Listen, well, I don't want to call my woodworkers anything great either, but I get you. But yes, there are awesome woodworking things happening over there. Speaking of, Rob's modest. But all these awesome people in my chat have great channels. Runic is one of my faves. I be pumping this lighter every opportunity I get. Cause it's so dope. Everyday carry. I always just flick this on random because it always works. I drop it on the floor. Don't matter. Don't matter. I'm getting lightweight discouraged about what I want to do here. Where is the grinder? Still in the truck. It's only going to be 2 places in the shop, so it means it's still in the truck. Mitch does it. Oh, thank you, man. It is beautiful, ain't it? Your channel is the best, Mitch. Sweet. Let's see it. I love the confidence. I could never say that about my channel. But what I can say is I have the absolute best chat. Like, hands down, the best chat. I think I found a solution before I found the grinder. So maybe we'll get involved with that. We got the 3-inch screws and the construction screws, so we're not little dinky drywall screws that'll break off. You can go ahead. Say peace to Dorothy. Peace, Dorothy. I just thought about that. Dorothy with the Elmo. Dorothy's goldfish was named. Wait, Elmo's goldfish was named Dorothy. That's what I should do. Oh boy, you already said the answer. I have a swap it out or change the bidding inside to see if it catches. Yeah. Happy New Year, Brother West. Thank you, New Roots Dynamic. My channel is in the top 5. I wouldn't, maybe top 5 channels named West Does It. I would say hands down, somewhere in there. So, you get $100 de pistolas. See what this construction screw is going to want to be. That's that head. So, we got one that came with it. Let's do that. Y'all in here make it a little more mobile. Get off of there. So that's gonna go through. That's gonna work out. I gotta put another hole on the other side of this. And if I'm gonna do that, I might as well get some more meat, as they say, out of it, which essentially means a heavier margin of error. Let's say this will be a good size bit for that. here. Yeah. Should be. It's going nowhere. So now all I've done is freed up that floor space so that that's not on the floor. That's not on the floor. And that on the floor. Wait till you see the articulating arm that I'm making for my shop. I might want to make one video next week. Heck yeah! I want to make one. Oh my God. Listen, I got no idea how to, but that's why I haven't. But absolutely, that's a great idea. I think Woodchucker does something kind of cool like that. I've just got like an arm that I put holes in everything so I can pick it up and sit it in different places in the shop. But it is not ceiling suspended. But that would be dope. That would be dope. I think I need to move this one and this one. I think I may go further down, so I'm getting left, right, and then forward rather than forward, forward, and forward. Might be better. Who knows? We'll try it this way for a little while. See how it goes. What y'all up to? Same exact problem you're having, dude. More floor space. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly. That's what the monitor's up there, and then after that, I was like, "This is a good idea." And you see, I put my ring light up there. Probably would have been a better thing suspended, but the bracket broke on it, and I kind of messed it up. So I just had to mount it how I could. But it makes a great ceiling light. That thing is amazing. Um, so it almost does. It does half the work over here is light wise, but then I've got these fluorescents that are about equal to that. That thing is fantastic. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. You hear that sound all the time because this is round and it be on my desk, and then I knock it over, and then it falls to the floor, hits the floor, concrete, and I go, "Oh no, I've broken it!" And I go, "This time for sure, never. This time for sure, there's a dent. Never, never." And it's beautiful and stays that way. Shout out to good products that work and are tough. Now, here's what you don't know about this lighter. And I know this sounds like a commercial, but I don't care. Um, I got this from Ronik's workshop, and he made it twice. He made it once, and then he hit me back and said, "Yo, I think I can do better. I don't think it's as strong as I want it to be. I know nothing about any of it. So I was like, okay. A week or so later, boom. That is African blackwood and some other stuff. Isn't that dope? It's dope. That's the best service you can ever imagine. I got one more of these to make. I gotta knock that off and make another handle. I didn't pay him, I promise. Well, I paid you, and I got a great, great product for it. So I promise. I sing the praises of good stuff. And a handmade thing, and to get a really well built handmade thing. Oh, amazing. Amazing. Nothing better than that. Nothing like getting more than your money's worth. But I appreciate my friends and I acknowledge the truths of them. Floor space, floor space. This is wonderful. I like what's happening so far. The only problem with that is I think my monitors are not in the best of places. Because I have to do this to look up and see it. That's not ideal. Not ideal. But also I don't have another answer yet. I don't want my TV low enough for me to be able to bump into it or hit it with wood or anything like that. Hey Wes, I saw you fix the handle of that mallet with wood glue and sandpaper. Have I ever experienced increased vibration due to the void? No. And I'll tell you why. Generally, and I'll show you, particularly on this glue up. It's mostly because I glued this up and clamped it multiple times, multiple ways at first. Like that's one solid piece that runs through the entire length. Right, that's actually the handle. That's the part that's involved in the mortise and tenon part. It's also this width, the full way, which is pretty wide at the top. So that's where all the strength is. And then these two pieces of oak were clamped on. I think this is red oak and white oak. And clamped those together like a cross, so to speak. And that sat for a day or two. Once that was fully cured, these smaller pieces, as I attached them, that's where we ended up with the void. Was right here, I believe. And the void gets filled actually with the wood glue and then with the sawdust as it mixes. So you actually end up filling that void. So I haven't ever noticed the difference. All right, Ronick, I'm sorry you had to call a plumber on a day like today, brother. I hope it works out. Don't look at his crack, like literally. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, this is why suspenders are king. Nobody sees my crack. But, well, this crack. So no, I've not experienced any vibration at all. In truth, I've not used this mallet very much yet. But also, it's not uncommon as as many of my mallets are glue ups. And wood shrinks and expands and contracts with moisture and temperature. So uh, you will occasionally get a little gap here and there, and then the gap will open and close, which is essentially just the nature of woodwork and joinery. Um, but no, I haven't experienced any adverse effects of that so far. If I do, though, I will surely let you know. Have a great day, Boone. Love that guy. So I don't know what do people still do resolutions and whatnot? Oh, no problem, Sticky Man. I appreciate you. Like you're doing me the courtesy by being here and also engaging me in the chat. Do I make cylindrical ones? Um, yeah, actually, yes. I think if what you mean is like the one piece joint like this. Yep. This is one of my favorites, meaning one of the ones I use the absolute most. Because, relatively speaking, it's a softer wood. This is just pine, pressure treated pine, in fact, from like a 4x4 post that you would buy out of the box store. And I used my spoke shaves and just carved it, and that is what I got at the end of it. And I use it all the time. You can see when I hit, I was talking about this the other day. Whenever the wedges need to go in the mouth, this is the one I grab for that. Because this won't break the wedge, because the wedges are usually hardwood and this is soft, so it won't snap the wedge. It'll just grab it. You can see where it does that. Being a heavy hardwood, whacking on another smaller piece of hardwood, the tendency is for the wood to want to bounce off or skip across because it doesn't bluntly, you know. And when that happens, that's a potential for it to snap. So this is my favorite one for that reason, for that task, I mean. The T-style, no, but I do want to make one that way. Like, what you mean is like that, but out of wood, I would assume. Yes, I do want to make one of those. I want that to be probably my next mallet. In fact, I think I'm gonna make it out of um, 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 oak, red oak. But I think I'm gonna essentially make it the same way I make these, with just more wood, and then spoke shave until I've got a round head. But I think that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome, in my humble opinion. I'm gonna bring this thing down a little bit. Ugh. It's nice though. I may wanna. It's nice though. I may want that. I know what you're saying. Gotcha. Have you had any experience of using one? Because I have not. So I'm curious about how it's going to work, how well it'll strike. It seems like on all fronts it should do really well. Um, Probably the most interesting head I've made. Where'd it go? Would probably be this one. And when I built this one, I considered doing it cylindrical. Um, this one I did slightly taper one side, um, just to give it a little bit more concentrated force on, because this is where you hit the chisels, obviously, you know, right in there somewhere. But I saw this shape somewhere else, and I thought it was nice, and I like it. So then I made this one essentially just so that I could make the shape. And then I had this idea while I was making the handle, and that came of it. And this is a little short nubby mallet, but it's all oak, so it's really heavy in comparison, so it makes for a good striking mallet for chisels and such. So I really like this one for that reason. And I did a 3 wedge head on this one. That was sort of a misstep correction, because I made this opening in the mortise too wide, and I had to fill in that space, so I just made 3 long wedges, tapped them in. Pancakes, all right. Yeah, it would be good for small chiseling for sure. Yep. And it's a little smaller handle too, so it wouldn't be great for you know smacking in big pieces of joints and joinery and stuff like that, because you couldn't get as much leverage. But for small chiseling, if you get your hand on the side of a mallet, that's that's ideal for the chiseling. And that's also what this being a little bit narrower helps with my hand, and the top being a little bit fatter gets you closer to that edge and a more natural grab on it. Yeah, Suzanne, have a great day. Suzanne is a really sweet creator who does some real cool stuff. You gotta go over there and see that. Um, got the cool AI songs. I love it. But yeah, this is an all oak joint. I'm looking forward to getting some use out of it. Um, for the time being, this is still useful wise. This is still one of my favorite. It's Douglas fir, 4x4. It's probably one of maybe 5 or 6 mallets that I've made where I did the through joinery instead of assembling and then pushing the mortar and tenon through. But this one I carved out, chiseled out. And you see I've repaired it with a wedge later on when it shrank. But I still love it. I almost broke my thumb with it. It loves me though. But my next task is there's a couple. I gotta get that off of there. Though it's not awful, it's not great. I want longer handles for these tools. A lot of the sacrifice that you end up making when you get the cheap tools, and these are the Lowe's brand, I believe. Not chisels. Project Source. Um, why am I losing that word? Files. But it's a whole set, and I think I paid $20. And there's 4 more of these, at least 5 more of these. And they only came with like 2 handles. And you have to either make handles or pull them out, which I don't see why you would or could. Or anyway, they're good enough this way. But there's like 6 or 8 of these and 2 handles. So I had to make handles. So this is my first draft. It works good enough. But now I'm doing these. And the ones that I did the other day, which are these. after we put the grip on it, and then we scraped out and hollowed out that little section, this became a lot more functional and a lot more comfortable to use. And this one, we made that texture with just the rasp, and it feels great. And then we did that, and it's a dusty. I got to still do a little bit more, put some finish on it, but really hold good. So you can get inexpensive tools, and then you can also inexpensively upgrade them, because these are just sheets that I ordered through Amazon of little 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch little ply, and you cut them up and make whatever you want out of them, and get some cool stuff. This is a great little marking knife. And then I made another one this morning. Another remix of a little cheap tool, and made a handle that's, because it's flat on the top, it feels a lot more comfortable. It feels a lot more solid. And I'll show you. These were the original handles, and they just weren't good. So we just took them apart, pulled the pieces out, made these, put it down in with some epoxy, worked it out, and now I've got a really good scribing knife. And I've got a cool little micro chisel that I can get better comfort out of. What up, Heidi? Hey, Cheryl, Happy New Year to you too. Heidi Shoop in the building. You guys want to see this cool sticker I got? Well, I also got the Mafia sticker from the Shoops. But right here next to my runic sticker is my Shoop sticker. Isn't that cool? Sawdust Mafia, baby. And then there's Runic, of course. Let's go check out that website. Like, Runic is one of those people that's smart enough to be talking about stuff you don't know about, but he's speaking of it so well that you don't want to admit that you don't know what he's talking about. But he's gracious enough that if he discovers that, he'll explain it to you. Thank you, Emmett. Appreciate that. Thank you. Happy New Year to you too. Man, you guys are great. I hope y'all are having a happy New Year so far. Heidi and Bam. Yeah, small chisel. Because I think this is hittable. This is if this little thing was, then this is. But it's the leverage, right? That you'll be able to get out of it. It's you know what I mean? There's a lot of this kind of stuff happens with those small chisels, right? A lot of little stuff like that. So I think that's just better with a longer handle. Because when you're getting these cheap tools, like, you're getting them for the value. And if they're going to make them cheap, they're going to have to make them fast. And they're going to have to make them out of inexpensive things. So they'll be good enough to cut the wood. But now, do you want to cut it comfortably? Yeah. And you can, this isn't expensive. This is probably $1 worth of wood. But they don't have time to assemble this and make it cheap like they do with this. But so it's not hard to do. Nor this. Nor these. but they are way better tools now. To me. To me. Exactly, Cheryl. It's more practical now. Makes a lot more sense. Mm-mm-mm. So, I've been having the greatest little morning of coffee. I think I'm going to take a little quick walk down to the creek and then probably come back up, get myself something to eat and get set up. And then once I get set up, we'll build something. On the way. That's something. But I gotta go see if my creek is still doing what I hope it's doing. Cause it's warm out today. You know what I'm saying? If it's warm and I've got a hole up out there, you know what I'm saying? This might be the kind of circumstance where a guy could go grab some worms and throw some in the water. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. There's gonna be grubs in there. There's gonna be grubs in there. All of this. And this whole thing fell in. This used to go out to there. And then that tree fell. And then that tree fell. And then that, all of that broke off. That was like a pad the previous owners had poured, I guess. But now look at that. That's deep enough water for fish to hold up. It hadn't rained here in days. Days. There's got to be fish in there. And hope I don't fall. Ugh. Okay. And so my land is on the other side of that and all the way back to the road up there. So all of this is me. But it's just never held enough water to have this much pooling this deep. But that's not super deep. But over there it definitely is because those trees just fell. So this is my backyard, dude. I'm gonna be out here standing on this log, throwing my line in over there. It'll probably be like micro fishing, but so what? Anything I can pull out of the water, I'm happy to do it. Well, it's a great little place to come sit. Hey, what's going on, Mike? How you doing? Have I seen those videos of the people using sticks and making vibration to bring the worms to the surface? Yeah, I've done that. I've absolutely. That's excellent cover for fish, right? Excellent. Look at all that. That was not here a year ago. All of that came from those trees that came down. And just up there, it pools right above that road. I don't know if you can see those cars that occasionally come by. There's one. Let me show you. Like there's a car that's gonna go by there, right? Boom. Okay, so right where you saw that, there's a bridge. And it drops down probably 20 feet. But you can fish off of that bridge. And I've pulled bass out of this water over up that bridge. Like, like a 12, 14-inch bass. Not huge, but not small. And I've caught like a half-pound brim in there. Sunfish. Yeah, it does work. It actually does work. I live in a cabin in Finland. Oh, awesome pets. Awesome. I live in a cabin in Georgia. There's my cabin up there. Crazy, these big trees just come tumbling. And I've got a, this is scary a little bit. Hello, Finland. Look at this. I've got a widowmaker right above head. That limb, I don't know how it got there, but it broke off from another tree or something. But it's huge. And that tree is just holding it. And it is directly overhead. If it fell, it would hit here. But it is what it is. The local neighborhood cats use this to, to cross over the neighborhood. And then the deer come down here all the time. Before that collapsed, they would drink right here at the edge. But this nature walk. It feels so good out today. I really do want to go go see if I can catch some fish. I'll put some boots on, get my axe, see if I can knock open some of those stumps and rotted wood. See if I can find some grubs and throw in there. See if I can draw something to the surface. Because I hadn't been able to take my boat out all year long. The Mary J. barge has not been in the water all year long. And that's a crying shame. See you later, Nay. Oh, I'm just chilling. I'm just walking the yard. That's all I'm doing. There, Rob. And you just said this, the next spot you want to fish. Absolutely. Kitty Bridge near Deer Drink Pass. West doesn't boat it. Not today, I don't. Not this season. That thing got some use the first year. Moderate use the second year. And I just haven't found the time. I like to fish with company. I do. I don't mind fishing alone, but I like for my brother to come. But we live probably 45 minutes away. We both had very busy years. His boat's over there, leaned up against my house. He's got a little Raider. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna get out of here. The year is only day old. That's a true. That is true. I didn't think about that. So I could be fishing the first day of the year. Look, my little rig's already set up, bro. All I gotta do, I throw a little Bobby Garland on that thing. Man, y'all might have talked me into it. If I come back, I'm probably gonna be down there fishing. Let me get my boots on and see if I can figure out how to get a little micro jig put together and see if I can draw fish out of that hole. And I'll use my little bobber just so we can see it happen if it happens. But it's been cold, but they gotta be in there. They gotta be in there. Why would they not be in there? Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Thank you sincerely for sitting around and kicking it with me and all of that. You just made a charcuterie board for your wife. That's dope, Rob. Your wife is so lucky. She's like, this dude keeps making cool stuff. I hardly make anything at home. I do stuff on the house, but I'm so worried I'm gonna make something that's crappy and I can't tell that it's crappy, that I'm gonna give it to her and she's gonna take it and be like, oh, and then hate it and not want to tell me. But that's that's the nature of the overthinker, I guess. But yeah, I really am gonna try to figure out how to get to that creek right now. So I'm gonna check y'all later. When I go down there though, I'll come on live. But I gotta find some some bait. My baby's napping. I got the internet looking at you taking a nap. Just kidding. All right, I'll see y'all later. It's on me. It's on me. It's facing me. Peace. Oh, almost did it on accident.